Parish Players. I was working with Tabor Valley Players back in the 90s. My husband was coming up from Connecticut, so I was here on my own with the kids. So then when he finally got up here with me, 4 years after we moved here, I started to get involved with Old Church Theater and Tabor Valley Players. And the bug really caught me. And at that time, they said, "Oh, if you really want to do great theater, you've got to go check out the Parish Players." I was like, "Really? Parish Players? Where are they?" And I'm only in Bradford, but I had no clue. So I came down and I saw the first show I saw was a series of 10-minute pieces. And it was Bob Nutt was the director, Janet Eller was cast, and Barbara Payson directed. I don't know who the other person was, the voice. It was called Ike Bite. And I just thought it was fantastic. I said, wow, that's so different, you know. And then I was really bitten by what Parish Players could do. So I started to become more involved. And I worked with Kevin Fitzpatrick. He allowed me to do some assistant directing on Someone to Watch Over Me. Then I got to be in a few plays. And I just found the Players to be the company that really did thought-provoking work. And I think Bill Craig in the Valley News had said that they were the group that would do plays that other companies wouldn't tackle. And I thought that was very fitting to the Parish Players. And back then it was the wood stove and the outhouse. And, you know, so it's like I wouldn't drink any fluids before coming into the theater, you know. But I remember when Someone to Watch Over Me, I would come in early and I'd start the fires in the wood stove down here and the wood stove in the green room for the cast. So it was just a really neat place. When they did the renovation, it was kind of bittersweet because I really liked that old feel with the outhouse and the wood stove, but I could understand why, as an audience member, it wasn't the most comfortable place to be. So it was hot in the summer and rather cold in the winter, people sitting with coats and hats and mittens and watching a play. But it lost a little bit of its charm then. So now over time it's kind of grown back to me to have that Parish Players charm. But that was my really first thought, Parish Players and their work. Then going on in time, they allowed me to experiment, you know, and I said, geez, I really like to direct a play. Never really directing anything before. And they were, okay, well, what's your idea? And what are you passionate about? And I remember coming forth with, I said, I'd like to do Nonsense. It was in Exile. It was to direct a musical. So they're like, okay. And they were very supportive of that. And then I came up with a Alan Hanel play, Will, which was a very weird, quirky play. And I remember Neil McGlathry saying, well, you know, I read it. I don't really get it. But if you're excited about it, okay. So, you know, Parish Players allows you to really expand yourself and to really try new things, and they support you in it. So, well, I just, you know, you would approach the players with a concept or an idea, and back then when I was directing the first time, I didn't have any knowledge of how to do a budget or who to ask for tech or who to cast or how to audition or any of that. And they gave you a person from the board to help you out, and they kind of guided you through the process on how to build a budget. They gave you a little template to work on, and that's how you build it. And then I networked with Kevin Fitzpatrick, who is really kind of my mentor technically, and he came in and helped with the technical aspects. They were just so open to allowing anybody who wanted to participate to go ahead and participate. If you wanted to, now just going off the directing side, when I first came in, I auditioned a few times and wasn't cast, but they're like, but that's okay, do you want to work on the play peripherally? And it's like, well, sure, I'd like to do that. So you got to come in and see how the rehearsals are set up and how they actually audition people and how they build this. When I was up with the Parish Players, I had said to Kevin Fitzpatrick, I said, geez, I would love to learn how to design lights and what you see. He goes, oh, sure, come on, anytime. And climbing ladders and walking me through the process of how to focus a light and how to connect a light to something else. And, you know, and I've had people here help me with how to run cable for sound, and very open and willing to teach, not feeling threatened at all that you're going to take their position, but really, really open to mentoring you. And I find that across the board, anybody who wants to come in has that opportunity to do that. Oh. Yeah, I guess to people who haven't been here before or haven't tried it, just come on in and give it a shot. You know, go ahead and audition for something. If you have any thought of just saying, geez, I wonder how a theater works, come on in and volunteer. We'd love to have you. And you'll find the Parish Players is really open to to having you come in and work with us. I think also if you just say, geez, I wouldn't mind being on stage sometime, but I'm a little afraid, just come ahead and try it out. Yeah, you'd be surprised at what you can do. You find the right director and they'll mentor you. And I think that I'd like to see this do a little more with the community, with more youth and getting more people involved. And so actually having people come in with some ideas of things that they'd like to see happen in the building would be great too.